Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is shaking the NFL landscape and has massive implications for the 49ers' future. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could change everything for San Francisco. It's all about Will Anderson Jr., the dynamic pass rusher from the Houston Texans, possibly heading to the Bay Area. Now I know what you're thinking, another trade rumor, right? But this one carries serious weight, especially considering the context of the 49ers, current roster needs, and the strategic moves that could elevate them into a new echelon of NFL dominance. Let's start with the basics. Will Anderson Jr. has been one of the most promising young defenders in the league since he entered the NFL. Coming out of Alabama, he was a highly touted prospect with a relentless motor and an uncanny ability to get after the quarterback. His production speaks volumes: 45 sacks over his first 3 seasons, including 12 sacks in 2025 alone, along with 240 tackles, 55 tackles for loss, and 95 quarterback hits. This guy is a game changer. His PFF grades hover around the high 80s and even breaking into the 90s in 2025, showcasing his consistency and elite pass-rushing ability. If you've watched him play, you know he's a player who can disrupt an entire offense, and he's only getting better with age. Now the rumors suggest that the Texans are open to trading Anderson, possibly for a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick, which makes a lot of sense given Houston's current rebuild mode. The Texans sit at a 6-8 record, but are in a subtle rebuild within the AFC South, focusing on developing their young quarterback and managing their cap space. Houston is carrying about $8 million in cap space and has been cautious about overextending, especially with their focus on extending Stroud's rookie deal. They're also looking to acquire offensive line picks, which indicates they're prioritizing protecting their young QB and building up the trenches for the future. But here's where it gets interesting for the 49ers. San Francisco, sitting comfortably at 9-4 and leading the NFC West, desperately needs to bolster its front seven, especially after setbacks like the ankle injury to Bethune and the concussion that sidelined Martin. Both injuries have tested the depth of the 49ers' pass rush and run defense, and with Ayuk's recent absence, the team's offense is also feeling the strain. Adding a player like Anderson, who has already proven to be a dominant force, could be the missing piece to take this defense to another level. Think about it, the impact he could have lining up next to Bosa. That duo would be lethal, with the potential to generate even more pressure on opposing quarterbacks, create turnovers, and elevate the entire team's performance. Anderson's career stats are nothing short of impressive. His 45 sacks and 240 tackles, with 150 of those being solo, show his ability to both get after the QB and be disruptive in the backfield. His 55 tackles for loss and 95 QB hits illustrate his relentless pursuit of excellence. He's also shown he can be a playmaker, with 8 forced fumbles and 5 interceptions, which is rare for a pure edge rusher. His PFF grade has consistently been around 86+ and even reaching 90. In 2025, a testament to his high level of play and consistency. For the 49ers, acquiring Anderson isn't just about boosting pass rush stats. It's about elevating the entire defense's disruptive potential, and that's exactly what they need to contend for another Super Bowl. Let's take a moment to compare this potential move to a recent example that had a similar impact: Chase Young's trade to the 49ers. That move added more than just sacks. It brought energy, versatility, and a new dimension to the line. Anderson could do the same. With his ability to produce 14 games in 2025 with 12 sacks, he's a guy who can be relied upon week in and week out. Imagine him in San Francisco's system. His ability to generate pressure, combined with Bosa's relentless rush, would be a nightmare for offenses. Plus, his versatility allows him to line up on the outside or kick inside in passing situations, making him a nightmare for offensive lines to handle. Now, what about the financial side? Houston seems to be trading Anderson primarily for offensive line picks, likely because they're wary of durability issues and want to protect their young quarterback. They're cautious about overpaying for a player who's had some minor injury setbacks, like knee tweaks that caused him to miss a couple of games. For the 49ers, though, Anderson's contract would be a worthwhile investment, especially considering his impact on the field. The team has shown they're willing to pay for top-tier talent. Just look at the extension for Bosa, and Anderson's addition would keep their pass rush elite. His presence would also help reduce the team's EPA per rush, which has improved significantly with his addition, going from around 0.10 to -0.7, and his ability to reduce yards after catch, YAC, allowed by 20% would make the secondary's job much easier. From an overall team perspective, bringing Anderson into the fold would also have a ripple effect across the roster. His presence would elevate the entire defense, leading to more sacks, forced turnovers, and less points allowed. The 49ers could see their points per game allowed drop by over 20, which is huge in today's high-powered NFL offenses. The team's ability to create pressure and force turnovers would increase significantly, making it even harder for opposing teams to execute their game plans. This in turn would give the offense more opportunities to control the game with Purdy at the helm, whose efficiency has been steadily rising, especially with his possession percentage climbing 13%. The balance between a dominant defense and an efficient offense is what's going to propel this team deep into the playoffs, and hopefully back to the Super Bowl. Looking at the bigger picture, adding Anderson could be the final piece that pushes the 49ers from being a good team to a championship-caliber squad. The odds for winning the Super Bowl have already improved from plus 2,500 to plus 1,100 with recent roster changes and strong performances, but Anderson's arrival would be a true X-factor for the postseason. His ability to produce 5 sacks in the playoffs, as he's shown in the past, could be the difference in tight games. Imagine him, Bosa, and the rest of the front seven wreaking havoc on opposing quarterbacks in January. That's a recipe for chaos for offenses and a nightmare for any team trying to slow down the 49ers' relentless pursuit of glory. So what's the final word? If the trade does happen, it's a strategic move by the 49ers to cement their dominance on defense, especially in the pass rush. Anderson's addition could be the difference maker, elevating the team's chances to bring home another NFC title and ultimately another Super Bowl. The front seven would become a fortress, impenetrable for anyone who dares to challenge them. And for the fans, this is exactly the kind of move that fuels hope and excitement. It's about building a roster that's not just good enough but dominant enough to leave a mark in NFL history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe Anderson will be the perfect fit? How do you see him impacting the team's chances in the playoffs? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news. This team is on the brink of something special, and moves like this could be the spark that ignites another championship run. Stay passionate, stay loud, and let's keep dreaming of that Super Bowl ring for the red and gold.